All right. And we are back again for part 2 of today's power move. As always, Colt, Amidan, Connell. For those of you who didn't catch the first episode, we talked about why the housing market won't crash. After that is wholesaling ethical for real estate agents.
Idiot if you do
Idiot if you do it. And how to avoid getting taken advantage of.
You want to
by people that want to wholesale property, which I think is probably the more important of those two things. But you know what? Colt mentioned something to me before we got started today, which is where he said he was worried that his daughter might be a serial killer.
Oh my gosh, dude! My daughter.
So am I.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? Am I the only one without a serial?
No, my 2-year-old.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
See it already in her eyes?
Well, it's
the
just
bloodlust.
her absolute lack of regard for other people's comfort and safety.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that's all 2-year-olds.
Maybe not a serial killer. Maybe more like a mass murderer, like a, sort of.
Well, you know what happened to me? So my daughter end of year school thing last year, and teachers giving all these nice talks about, this kid, this is the most memorable thing. And the teacher gets up and goes, yeah, I think his mother or mother-in-law died. And Mia just laughed at me the whole time I was telling this story. Like, she's laughing at the teacher that he's over here saying, I had to take off because my mom died. And I'm like, all right, you're a little messed up. Okay, we'll see what happened. So then fast forward, we're driving home yesterday, and she's like, I go, what do you learn from school? Well, how to kill somebody. If you stab them in the front of the thigh, they'll die. They'll bleed out real quick and get cold and die. So if you ever want to kill somebody, go in the front of the thigh, not in the side. How do you learn that at school?
I mean, I actually don't think that's accurate. I think
I hope.
You think
that
the
takes.
thigh's
I'm not going to tell her.
It's called the golden hour, Colt. You have an arterial break in your thigh.
But my kids sometimes scare me with that stuff. And she is so quiet. I don't know.
Okay, here's the question, though. Is it that they just might want to kill you, or they might want to kill others? Because I mean, if it is your wife's daughter, and I've seen the bloodlust in the wife's eye for you sometimes. I've seen this.
No, she
justified
just said
homicide.
Yeah. I would not be shocked if. Yeah, she's going to be my wife.
Yvette.
She'll be my wife, and my wife, I would not be shocked if murdered somebody because of what they said. And it might be me. It might be me.
She can call 702 Connell.
702.
If she ever does murder,
702 Connell.
If she
for all your murdering husband needs.
We found out what he
with a
chancla. Yeah, with the chancla. But I don't know. Do your kids do anything crazy that you're like, what the F are you thinking?
Yeah, they're just.
Do kids do anything that I'm like, what the F are you thinking?
Yeah.
Daily?
Like scary
Daily.
things.
Yeah. I walked in on my 13-year-old the other day, talking to this wholesale about selling my house cash,
which
at a 30% discount.
Terrifying.
Like, are you crazy?
See, the scary thing is I walked into my son's room and he was actually on the phone with your daughter trying to buy our house at a 30% discount.
Well,
there's that. Part of me was a little proud.
Yeah, no, my kids.
He doesn't have a license. He can, again, if you don't have a license, you're not a realtor. Do whatever you want. I get it. But yeah, if you have a license, I don't think you can. But if you're talking, God, the chai tea is just. I went chai tea instead of coffee. I normally go chai. It tastes like Christmas.
Oh, chai tea.
I'm instantly transported to like a winter wonderland.
Makes you want to do yoga. Yeah.
It's 108 degrees outside. I'm already
talk about your sign.
I know, but let's see. So
big
very
social faux pas. So about social faux pas. So here's my story. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, I was on a flight back from somewhere, and Guns N' Roses tickets were going to go on sale as I was going to be on the plane. So I called my assistant and I said, "Do me a favor, buy me the best 4 Guns N' Roses tickets they have." Right? I'm just thinking just the seats. I get off the plane, bing bing, credit card. Did you just spend $3,600 on Guns N' Roses tickets? And I'm like, well, holy shit, apparently I just did. So I call her up and she goes, well, no, you told me the best ones. Those are the best seats. And I'm like, how in the world are these concert tickets? I mean, yes, it's Vegas. Concerts are more expensive than anywhere else. But how in the world is this $3,600? So I start looking it up and it's like, oh no, there's a whole, you get in early. It's a VIP experience. You get, open bar. You get food. You get a laminate. You get to walk a red carpet. There's a merch package. There's all stuff.
She did what you told her.
Yeah, she did exactly. And I can't be mad.
Right?
You did what I told you. That's why she's my right-hand person. Exactly. She did exactly what I told her to do. So we're cruising along and I'm like, all right. it gets a little closer, and I start getting iffy on even wanting to go to this thing. I mean, I've already heard a couple of concerts of, going down at Allegiant Stadium. The sound's a little bad. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get in and out. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do this or not. And we own a house in Newport Beach, and the house came up a week ago this weekend. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather go to the house because we own it with some partners. I was like, I'd rather go to Newport and hang out on the beach and go surfing and goof around and just decompress than go deal with this concert. So I had one of my guys on my team had just closed like an $8.6 million deal. It was a massive deal. So that was a no-brainer. I'm like, you get to go to Guns N' Roses. Here's two of these super
Power
VIP
move.
tickets, right? It's power. I'm not doing it. We need a new sound. But here's your VIP tickets for that. And so I had 2 left. So then I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'll just give them away to somebody else, one of my clients or somebody, and I go to start trying to mess with Ticketmaster to give them away. And I realize I can't transfer them. So I'm like, oh, God, I can't transfer them. So I'm like, what am I going to, I got to figure this out. And then as I'm going along, because of the VIP stuff, you actually have to pick them up from will call. So I'm trying to go to the beach, but yet I physically have to go with my ID and credit card that I purchased them with to will call to pick them up the day of the show. I'm like, this is a disaster. So now I'm like telling my wife, maybe I'll stay, you guys go, and then I'll just go to the show and then fly down to Orange County and you can come pick me up, whatever. And anyway, so I get an email about checking in and I notice it says Courtney on it. It has her name, my assistant, who bought the tickets. And I go in the other office and I go, hey, did you buy these in my name or in your name? She goes, well, I bought them in my name and I used my credit card. You reimbursed me. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm like, you get to go down to Will Call and pick these tickets up. And I said, but the good news is me, super cool boss. She's been kicking ass lately. I'm like, take your dude. You guys have a great time, right? Go to VIP. So she goes to VIP. She goes, we go to the beach and have a great time. Fast forward to Monday. I come back, walk in. How was the show? She's like, it was amazing. It was great. I said, cool. Your guy, Rico, had a good time. She had a great time. Everything was cool, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, oh, I have something for you. I said, okay, cool. So she goes out and she comes in with the merch stuff that she got. I see the lanyard. I see the poster. I see the little bag. And she's like, here, and goes to hand me the concert t-shirt. And I was like, no. Don't, like, I gave everything to you. I said, just take it. It's for you. Give it to Rico. I gave you guys the tickets, everything, it's yours. Good. She's like, no. This is for you. And I go, no. I said, Courtney, it's a t-shirt. I'm going to throw it in a drawer. Right. I'm never going to wear it. I'm going to throw it away in 2 years. I don't give a shit about that. Right. Keep it. She walks out of the room. My wife immediately calls me. She's like, Courtney bought you that t-shirt. I was like, what?
She goes, I'm going to defend you again here, John. I gotta defend you again here.
Chris is the best person to have on.
No, it's like these Larry David moments.
702 Connell.
Like, they're not that, because here's the thing. Remember that guy you couldn't recognize because he was in sunglasses and out of position totally, and you called him up later being like, hey, how are you? I saw that you were here. Like, you cared enough about him to do that.
Yeah.
And this person trying to give you the t-shirt of a merch bag thing that came. You're obviously no. You're obviously primed to think that that's the map that came with the program.
Yes, okay. I did.
So you're already primed to think that that's what you gave her, and her trying to give it to you is kind of like, no. I want you to have the whole thing.
Yes,
I don't want a part of the thing. I want you to have the whole thing.
Right.
So those aren't Larry David moments.
I think it's pretty cool because here I am essentially saying, don't give me the gift because you get the shit.
If she said to you, no, John, I bought you a gift and I wanted you to have
situation.
It. Oh. If she told you it was a gift.
No, but I'm immediately backpedaling like, no, I love it. I wear it all the time.
Well, but there's a difference between what's the value of a gift? It's not the thing itself. In 99%,
that's what I said. It's a thought that counts, and the thought was lovely. That's what I said.
The thought that's great. She got it for you. If she gave you that T-shirt, you're not going to throw it away, right? Because it's a gift.
No, I'm still throwing it away.
But okay, I mean,
maybe 2 years from now. But
maybe Hayden wanted it. Maybe the kids wanted it. Maybe the kids want it because it's cool to wear like retro shit, right? So it's different though. Like as a gift, it's something that's more meaningful, and you will think twice about throwing it away.
No, but whenever you get T-shirts though, you have a drawer at your house full of T-shirts.
They're all black.
No, not that one. That's the wearable drawer.
Those are my
the
workout
unwearable
shorts.
Drawer that contains things like, and there's certain things again you consider a gift. I had the Golden Girls T-shirt my son gave me because he thought it was funny for like Father's Day when he was like 8. Can't throw it away. Still got it.
Yeah.
The Chewbacca T-shirt that my daughter bought me for Christmas one year.
That's right.
Haven't rocked the Chewbacca T-shirt, but I'm never going to throw it away.
That's right. So
sorry, when she goes to college, I'll throw it away.
But those are
fine. when they're out of the house, I'm good.
But it's almost incumbent upon you to be like, oh, I thought you'd enjoy this, so I bought this for you. You can't just because when you've already been mentally primed for something, right? You're already in a thought that that's the thing I bought myself already, and I don't want it because I want you to go and have the whole experience. So
yeah, but that was the point. I was
like how
nice.
you're hard on yourself for your own Larry David moments, and they turn out to be like completely normal to me. Makes me think maybe.
No, if you think that telling somebody the gift you give me, no, I'm just gonna fucking throw it away. No, I want that.
But if they said this is the gift I purchased at the concert for you,
no, I never would have said that.
Well, then
depending on the T-shirt, depending on the band,
it's all about how you present.
Two-way street, brother.
Like you give me a Backstreet Boys T-shirt. I'm telling you, it sucks. I'm throwing it out.
Well, if
What's
it's
wrong
funny,
with the Backstreet Boys?
probably worth a retro party.
Yeah, it might be worth a retro.
Keep it
party.
that goes in that drawer.
Everybody has the 80 party now.
80s party.
Which brings so for those of you watching and don't know this, Chris Connell Esquire, man of many talents, many faces, also fronts cover band Acre, of which we always have to go because now we have to go. I feel like we're pot committed because the first time he played some bar in Chinatown, and it was like 10 of us there.
Boomers, it's closed now.
It's closed now. Shocking.
Remember the first time was at Boomers, it's closed. Next time was at Jing.
That was Chinatown.
Chinatown was
where
Jing.
The guy gave you an extra $50 for bringing a good crowd. So he doubled your pay from 50 to 100, I think.
I remember what it was. Yeah, but yeah, we played these joints and with the loudest cheering section possible.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
and it's a diverse crowd. You can tell who's with you.
No,
you can tell.
You can tell.
Everybody's in all black, goth, and then we roll in. One guy had a flower shirt on. I had white pants,
a lot of
orange.
pastels.
Yeah, you can definitely tell which pants are for what. Oh man,
that was a good time though.
Well, it brings me a point though. We're gonna have a merch table at the next show because
I think so.
Oh, for sure.
Look, if you have nothing else in your office to guarantee hilarity, you need iron-on T-shirt things. You can buy them. You can buy them at Staples. I literally in our storage room right now we have a grip of white T-shirts and the iron-ons because when the moment strikes me funny, I can jump on Photoshop and make a T-shirt of someone, i.e. Colt. We found out that his wife's real name was Mirtha.
Oh,
yeah, here you go. Sorry.
You are going to get killed. This may be it might be power move with Colt and only Colt next week because I'm not speaking on this. She will kill you.
Okay, then we'll edit that out. Not really. We're not going to edit that out, but here we go. Anyway.
Go ahead. What was it? All right, her name is Mirtha.
Mirtha is her real name.
It's a beautiful name.
It's a beautiful name, but she doesn't like it, so I instantly...
Because you know why she don't like it? Us Americans. Mirtha? Her name Mirtha?
Yes. So she's adjusting to our ignorance.
Yes.
Yeah, no, she needs to double down on that.
But as soon as I found out that she did not like this name, I made a T-shirt of Colt's face that just said "Sexy Mirtha Fucker," which I thought was appropriate.
Amazing. I thought it was amazing. Shockingly, she did laugh at it. She did not threaten to kill John, so cool. I think we're okay with it.
But here's my mission: back to Acre, your cover band.
Acre is just so you understand. Acre is the generic name for literally any real estate in law.
Okay,
so it's like John sells Acre to Colt for $1 million. Okay. There's an easement on it. Blah, blah, blah. It's always Acre. If there's 5 parcels, they become Black Acre, White Acre, Green Acre, etc. But it's always Black Acre.
It's always the first acre.
It's always Black Acre. Black Acre is the property in all of law schools across America. So what better for a generic lawyer than like the generic real estate lawyer playing in a cover band? You know, why wouldn't it be Black Acre, right? You got Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, you got Black Crows.
But here's the point.
Keys,
here's the
Acre.
point. I'm going to break up the band through the use of a T-shirt. Here's how I'm going to do it.
Uh-oh.
We're going straight up Almost Famous, where we're going to make the T-shirt where everybody else is a little fuzzy on it, and you're like out front, super focused. And we're going to set up a merch table and I think clarity will ensue.
That's so funny because the guys that I play with a lot of times have such limited egos. I think they'd be like, yeah, please blank me out.
Can I say you sounded better than Guns N' Roses? Just so you know.
I'd like to think so.
You guys did, honestly.
I've done a lot less heroin than pretty much.
We can actually hear you anyway. The first band that was up there was earth-shattering loud.
Oh my God, my head hurt. I went from that night, got home about 1 a.m, and went to Guns N' Roses next night. My head hurt so bad from that first band.
It was miserable. It was terrible.
Oh, we had to put what did we put in our ears? I can't remember.
We put napkins. God only knows what you put in your ears. God only knows it was napkins for the rest of us.
Just for the kids out there who may be listening, wear ear protection because you literally got one shot at hearing. You don't grow the fuzz
won't regrow.
Pick up. Yeah, they don't regrow.
Yeah.
Like you knock them off, you kill your hearing. And that's it for life.
Yeah.
Wear your earphones, kids.
Wear earphones. See, we're teaching lessons as we do. You know, I know another lesson we should talk about. Yeah, I know another lesson we should talk about, which is this. For me, what makes a great business, and again, what makes a bad business is how you deal with problems that arise for customers. And like today, we had a situation, I won't get exactly what it was, but one of our partners, we screwed up today. We screwed up with a very large partner that we have in another state, a southern state. And one of our people made a mistake and jeopardized a potential, you're talking about a deal that's worth probably $15 to $20 million a year, recurring revenue. And that deal almost got evaporated this morning. And that was the call I woke up to today is this is what's going on. They're meeting at like 1 o'clock Eastern to decide if they're still moving forward with us.
Wow.
We're 30 days we're 30 days away from getting this open, and we've been working on it for 7 months. And it was like, okay. So I talked to my partner very quickly and I said, here's what I would like you to do. Do this for me. I said, I want you to call them and tell them that we want to get on a plane first thing in the morning and fly out there and personally apologize. Whichever way this goes on the decision, we personally want to sit down with them and say, we're sorry. Even though it wasn't us, that physically did what happened, we wanted to go through and personally make that up to them. I said, before they go into that meeting, they need to know we want to do that.
Yes.
And my partner, who's English, was kind of like, well, I don't get it. I'm like, trust me, they're Southern. That's going to go a long way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we need to mean that because we need to go out there and, obviously the person that screwed up got fired, this afternoon with us, and we were going to fly out. And thank God the deal worked out. And I think a big part of why it worked out, it's fine now. Thank goodness. Everything's moving along. We don't have to fly out there tomorrow. Everything's kind of recovered nicely. But the point being is,
did it recover after you said you'd fly down?
Yes.
Do you think that had something to do with it?
Huge. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think it showed that we were, look, anybody will take a lump over Zoom or over a call, but if you're willing to get out, if you're willing to get on a plane and fly there and get it done, I mean, I think it's Jesse Itzler, who's incredible. If you don't know who he is,
Atlanta Hawk owner.
Yeah, Atlanta Hawk owner, and Jesse's amazing. Has had basically 2 jobs in his life, which was white rapper and then owned Marquee Jets. But he talks about one of the pivotal moments. Actually, that's not true. It wasn't Jesse Itzler. No, I'm going to digress. It was.
His wife owns Spanx.
No. His wife owns Spanx. Yeah. It wasn't Jesse Itzler. I'm sorry. I just remember who this was. I was going along. It was a major lender. It might be the guy that owns Home or Loan Depot. Maybe he said the story. But when all of the big warehouse lines were evaporating in 2005, 2006, and they were losing everything, and they had nowhere to put loans, and all of these lenders were imploding. He said he talked to his largest warehouse line, which is imperative to be open if you want to be a lender. You have to have this. And he talked to them and they said, look, we're shutting everybody down. We're only keeping like 3. That's it. And he goes, that was the only glimmer of hope I had. Everybody else just told me we were done. We're shutting them all down. And he goes, but they told me they were keeping 3. So he goes, he said, when are you going to make the decision? He goes, well, we've pretty much already made the decision, but yeah, you need to plan on being out. It's fine. Blah, blah. He goes, well, I just really would love to talk to you about it tomorrow morning if I can. Can I call you back tomorrow morning? He's like, it's not really going to help you, but you can, if you want to call me in the morning, call me in the morning. He's in New York. It's now like 8 o'clock. He calls the guy the next morning at 9 a.m. LA time and says, hey, can we talk about this? And the guy says, yeah, like I told you, we already made the decision. It's done. He goes, well, I'm actually in your lobby. Can we talk about it? And the fact that he was willing to get on a plane and go to that client, get that done, allowed them to keep that business. I wish I could remember exactly who this was. It's kind of a shame that you can't look this story up because there's more to it. But the fact that he was willing to do that and go that extra mile for his people, it's not something Chili's would do. Chili's wouldn't do that. Again, if you don't know what Chili's has done to me, Google what did Chili's do to John Gafford.
Or just watch old episodes.
Or just watch old episodes. No, I'm not done with you, Chili's.
That one I don't think ever made it.
We talked about that before, The Secrets of Great Rainmakers by Jeffrey Fox.
Yes.
And he has that one story of the buttons that made him, $100,000 or whatever, $100,000 buttons. That guy that came in and he needed a button repaired, and he goes, well, I can't do that or whatever, but here, I just went and fixed these buttons and added some like nicer new ones, free of charge. They said it just so happened it was an affluent family. They now shipped their stuff to that guy, and they've bought clothes and custom suits and whatever for the rest of time off this guy for repairing a free button. Because he's willing, he's willing to go just above and beyond. It's just that, what are your touches? What makes you somebody that makes me feel like you give a shit? And I think when you say I'm going to get on a plane, I'm not a number to you. Like, you give a shit. You were worried about losing my whatever your relationship. Yeah.
No, I mean 100%. So talking about that over and above thing, what's your number one go-to thing that you just love? What is it?
That I just love that people.
One of the things that you do that sets you apart from other people that is the difference maker in your relationships with other people.
I think everybody in my line of work and as a lawyer and people closing deals, I'll show you I care because I answer your phone call and your text immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the number one thing that people really notice.
Yeah.
For my business is that I will answer your call. I will text you back and I give a shit. And if something goes wrong, I'll make it good. And I will, use my personal resources and connections to try to actually get you to where you need to be personally. And a lot of times all people want to hear is that you're listening. Like I have a client right now. I'm in a very difficult situation because it's crossed over from just a real estate transaction to a person who's very hurt about why this transaction needs to come about. As opaque as that description is. And so my client is upset more that the relationship that she's in is being affected, right now. And that leads to the real estate deal issue.
Yep.
Selling real estate when a relationship ends. And so a lot of times, I don't know. And so sometimes I'll just ask her, hey, what do you, leave the law aside, leave the billing aside. I'm not going to bill you for this conversation. What do you want? What are you trying to get out of this? Why would, and just talk about feelings sometimes. It sounds kind of lame. It's not my job necessarily to play counselor, but it happens and it does. And I take it seriously. And I try to give advice like with my sister. Yeah.
Well, the reason I brought it up, I saw something yesterday and it was good timing because I just started doing this again. I saw a tweet or a meme or a post or whatever it said. And it said, hey, after 35, nothing good ever comes in the mail but bills. That's what somebody wrote on a thing. And everybody's like, amen, 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 whatever. And it's good because I just started doing this. I spent $200. There was this really great website that made these really cool custom cards. So I got these cool custom cards with big Gafford embossed on it. This like leopard coming down the side that's embossed. It really looks like a Gucci thank you card, it looks like, but it's big. And I just decided that every week I'm going to start sending at least one of these cards out to somebody that does something kind to me or shows me an overabundance of just relationship. And I sent the first couple out last week, and the people that got them called me up and they were like, dude, thank you so much for this card. They were so appreciative because, again, you're taking something that people had that perception of nothing good ever comes in the mail, and you're going that extra mile for that. And you're saying thank you, and you're just trying to spread something positive in a medium that normally is full of negative.
Yeah, it's double-edged. It's double-edged because not only are you getting something in the mail that's not a bill, so you're relieved.
Yeah.
It's actually something nice. So it actually has a double impact. Now, I have a couple people that send me those kind of like monthly letters, and they're people that are keeping in touch. Kind of get to a point where I'm like, I just feel like I'm on a mailing list.
Yeah.
Right. It can lose it. It can
lose it. No,
this
is handwritten. This is me. I handwrite these. This is not a handwritten font. It is. This is not anything else. They're very personalized as to exactly what it was. For example, there's a restaurant here in town called Bella Vita. The guy that's a restaurateur there is a really good restaurateur. And every time I go in there, the dude literally fawns on me like I'm the president of the United States. We were in there with my daughter's best friend's parents maybe a week and a half ago, and it was funny. He wasn't there, but just in the course of conversation, I looked around and Gabe's like, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Oh, I was looking to see if Sergio was here," and she's like, "He's not here." And they were like, "Who's Sergio?" And I was like, I guess so. I told the story. I said, "Look, I don't know why. I did nothing to deserve this. I have nothing to deserve the treatment that I get from this dude. But whenever I come in here and he sees me, it's like." The C's part, and who knows? He might do this for everybody. I have no idea.
Sure,
but it's like a production that he's angry that I'm in the restaurant and he didn't know about it. Like he scolds the GM that why didn't you tell me they were here and blah blah blah. And when I walk in, if there's 50 people waiting, no, not for me right to the front. I don't know what I did here, but I'll take it, right? But I sent him a card. So anyway, we're telling the story to my daughter's best friend's parents, and towards the end of it, we get up to leave, and there he is. And exactly what I had laid out to them was going to happen happens. Like angry, didn't know it. Like, are these your friends? Gives them a $50 gift card. I mean, just over the top, super hospitable. So I sent him a card. It was just basically saying, hey, you know what? I don't deserve the amount of hospitality you show me. It's never expected, and it's always greatly appreciated. And thank you so much. And it's stuff like that, man. I think
recognition, right?
Well,
I think people recognizing this stuff.
People want recognition and genuine connection. Well, that's primal.
Well, I think people are nowadays with the internet are so programmed to want to bitch about everything and not show recognition or catch people doing stuff right. Which brings us to something Colt want to talk about today. I get Colt's fun topic ideas for what we should talk about. We're not going to talk about all today because I promised to talk about some other ones. But this is what I get today. You ready, Connell? Here it comes.
All right, here we go.
I get fun.
Oh God, now I know.
My ideas for the show that I drop on today are like taking instant cash offers for your house, pros and cons. The value of college, which we didn't get to today. We'll get to next time. And then Colt gives me horse medication for COVID. Is Colt's daughter a serial killer? Gym habits that are annoying. I jogged a mile, and I'm convinced that I could definitely be in the Olympics for speed walking.
No, I am absolutely going to be in the Olympics still. I don't know if you guys are not convinced. Like, I jogged. That's all speed walking is.
Yeah.
And I jogged.
You can't lift your feet off the ground.
I know. It's all technique. I'm telling you. Today, after I was like, I wonder if I really could
cannot
be in the
wait
Olympics.
for you to keep pursuing this dream because I feel like it's building momentum.
Anybody listens to this, or sees this on YouTube, if you know anybody that's an actual competitive speed walker, can you please refer them to us so we can set up a track meet for money?
Deadpool kind of going on cold. How long he's going to last?
Oh, come on. You guys have no faith. Look
I
at
have
this.
no faith in your ability to speed walk.
No faith whatsoever.
If you're just listening to this, I am chiseled in amazing shape.
But you did
don't drink.
No, but you did want to talk about the Nextdoor app and all of the mayhem that the Nextdoor app.
Oh, God.
The Nextdoor app has gone from a convenient place to connect with your neighbors to literally just a whirlwind of disaster.
You love your you guys.
I absolutely
you guys
hate that
live. Oh, you live in the wrong neighborhoods. You guys live in nice, fancy neighborhoods. I live in the hood. You know what I woke up to on my email? You know how it gives you a little clippet of what happened, so you get on there. And how do I not get on this after this one? The subject line is naked guy in my backyard with scissors. Like, how am I not going to get on and look?
He wasn't running, was he?
Well, hopefully
Next door
not.
neighbors again.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No, but the next door neighbor app, if you live in the hood, is way better than Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, I believe your next door neighbor's app is OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
I believe that's your next door neighbor.
He's out. He's out. He made a lot of money, but he's out.
You can tell people just what they'll get on there and talk about.
Well, this is what I find. I find it's blazing criticism of some business or some person.
Sure.
And it always goes political from that.
Political from that. And then there's my
Lost
other
cat,
one that I look
lost
at.
Cat.
No, there's I don't mind the lost pets.
I'm just telling you that's when I see it just proliferate.
This is the one that I just shake my head every time. Suspicious person seen in our neighborhood.
That's number 3.
It's always like middle-aged
young man,
Karen haircut, young man
today
seen
outside
walking around neighborhood. Keep an eye out. It's like,
see, your guys, I'm telling you, it's where you live. Mine's
male
gunshots.
Yeah, I think
did anybody else hear gunshots? Naked guy. I swear, the naked guy comes across all the time. It's not the same one. And then you always get the Karens of a golf course. Hey, is someone pissing on your wall like they are off the golfers, pissing on the walls? But no, my next door neighbor app is phenomenal.
So let me tell you a story, Cole. Who was it? Was it the BTK killer or John Wayne Gacy when they were looking for people? Those are always sometimes the first people to volunteer. The guys who are actually guilty of the crime.
Yep.
You keep mentioning this naked guy a lot.
Naked guy, serial
willingness to want to help.
Now he's quote unquote moved away.
No, we can stop looking for him.
Oh no, look out, he moved away.
Don't test the DNA of the stuff he leaves in his,
he can't do that.
His victim's backyard.
No, I did touch that when I was looking for him. Yeah,
Cole's first got to volunteer to find the naked guy running around with scissors.
Well, I feel like we should talk about it because we did promise it at the top of episode 1. Or part A of this episode, I should say, which is going to college. Mm-hmm. Worth the money. What is it? Now, okay, well, let's start with Colt. Overrated. Why? Why is going to college overrated?
Because it's great if you're someone like Chris, right? Or somebody that's going to
someone like Chris.
Someone like if you're
Canadian
people.
You can't say that on the
Regina.
air.
Canadian.
If you were born in Regina, but if you're like going to be a doctor, if you're going to be a scientist, if you're going to be a law. But other than that, the law.
Just go.
If you're going to be with the law.
Bill.
No, a lawyer. But if you're going to go into law, did I say the law?
The law.
Anyways, no, I think that trade schools are a way better option for 80% of the people out there. And I think that you're going to see that. I think that in 20 years, it will be not even that, maybe in 10 years, it'll be evenly regarded as, the standard.
Yeah, I have a problem with people that don't regard trade as being whatever. There was this sort of stigma about trade. You didn't want your kid to go be a plumber. You wanted to go to school. And for a lot of kids, it doesn't make sense.
I've sold some big houses for some plumbers.
Sure. Yeah, but those are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're not, nobody who's a grunt. I don't care if you're a lawyer. If you're a grunt, you're not working for yourself. You're not a partner. You're not actually making as much money as you think. It's owners that make money. But that aside, I'll push back here on you a bit, Colt. So Freakonomics, if you look at these guys, if you look at the lifetime earnings of a college graduate, they're disproportionately higher than the
absolutely, because you're forced
66 is that number, I believe.
It's
66% higher.
But it's 66% higher. Disproportionate. So I am so pro college, and it's not just, I think if you're a plumber, you should also take some liberal arts classes. Take some courses. Take a philosophy course. And here's why. Learning how to think is going to help you out in every aspect of your life. Okay, you don't have to go get a degree in sociology. Okay, that's not going to help you. It's not the degree that's going to help you.
Agree.
Unless you want to go be a lawyer, a politician, or whatever. So, or a teacher, whatever, or a doctor. It doesn't matter. But if you don't understand what logical fallacy is, if you don't really understand why straw man makes your argument shitty, if you don't understand, then you're not speaking the language of other people in the field who are educated on the topic. So you're speaking a foreign language. I wouldn't go argue with somebody in Spanish.
No, I agree, but look at your college. You went to college. I went to college. John did not even go through high school. We found out.
Hooters University, baby. What are you talking about?
Honestly, I'm to take bowling and stuff like that. A fourth of my college was BS. The other fourth was sure.
Oh.
No, but then half of it was great, right? Was per my trade. And I get it. Trade schools should probably open up and say, you know what, let's bring some different avenues to it. Just not, this is how you fix something. Because, you go work, be a plumber, or like you said, attorney. You see some of these attorneys, you're like, really, you went through all that school and you're making no money.
This is what I'm going to say is I am super pro college. I went to college for a couple of years. Obviously, at some point, felt the institution had nothing further to offer me. But here's the point. This is what it does, in my opinion. It teaches you to be an adult. It teaches you to think differently because you're surrounded by others also learning how to think differently, and you're thrown into this dish of like-minded people trying to do something different than they've done before. Right. And I think even as I go through, I've met some 25-year-old kids that are super successful that never went to college. And what I found is even though they're making a lot of money, there's some entrepreneurs through the hustle economy, whatever, making a truckload of money, emotionally, they're kind of still 18.
Stunted a bit, yeah.
They're stunted because they didn't get that life experience of going off and learning not just, philosophy and Western Civ, but they didn't learn how to be an adult.
Or learning how to be wrong and learning how to have someone tell you that your idea isn't well thought out.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like the criticism of law school. So here, just from my experience, I have, I did my JD MBA together. So I went to business school and law school at the same time. I'll tell you how much more difficult law school was than business school. And here's why. Business school is like a lot of times practical. You're learning economics and accounting and finance or whatever. But law is this whole thing where you take a room full of people who are all straight A students throughout college, not high school.
Yeah.
They're all college straight A students. I don't give a shit. Everybody in that room.
In Canada, that's like a C-.
It's like a D. It's an American D. It's a metric A.
It's metric
system.
I got nothing but metric A's. It's like, but you take a room full of metric A, people that all get A students. Their whole life, they're elite at school. And you say, okay, 20% of you get an A. You know how you're all A students? Only 20% get an A, 60% get a B, and 20% get a C. Doesn't matter what you do. If everybody in that room is Clarence Darrow, 20% of the Clarence Darrows are going to be A Clarence Darrows, and 60% are going to be C, B Clarence Darrow. So at the end of the day, you have to get in there. And that's why law school is competitive, is because you're playing on the human ego. And you go in there and you're fighting. And there's like one final. There's sometimes a midterm. But most of your grade is resting on one final.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no homework. You have to be an adult. You have to self-manage and read all these things. So you're going in there going, oh shit, I don't want to be one of the C's. And that's what motivates, right? That it feeds on that need in people. So what you're doing is you're always feeling inadequate. And it was the first time in my life for years where I was working as hard as I've ever worked in my life. And felt completely inadequate.
Other people feel this. Other people feel it too, buddy.
I only felt that way after I lived next to a gay porn star.
You get your ego shit kicked for years. Your ego. Okay. And when you come out of that and then you go online and you hear all these constitutional experts talking, you go, the problem with you is you've never had your dick really kicked in by these better ideas than you have. Okay. And you don't even know when they come up because you're not really trying.
You're not paying attention.
You're not paying attention. You're not trying. You're not willing to be, sort of beat up and have your ego take some mad shots, because that's on the bottom of the Dunning-Kruger spectrum.
Yep. Well, kids, I think that's the consensus is, with the exception of Colt. And I mean,
and also Colt's daughter is a serial killer.
You be the judge of how you want to turn out here.
You want to be Olympic speed
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Attorney. Which one do you want?
Well, that's going to wrap it up, I think, for another episode of the Power Move. Again, remember, if you have a good power move noise, it's going to be better than this one. Please send it in to us because we'd love to hear it. Oh, it's that one
with the copyright waiver.
Yeah, the copyright waiver, exactly, that allows us to use it as we want. I don't want to get sued later. And yeah, man, and remember, if you like what we're doing, tell somebody. If you hate it, tell two, because it doesn't matter if they're talking good or bad. It's when they stop talking, you got a problem. Hey, it's John Gafford. If you want to catch up more and see what we're doing, you can always go to thejohngafford.com, where we'll share any links that things we talked about on the show, as well as links to the YouTube where you can watch us live. And if you want to catch up with me on Instagram, you can always follow me at thejohngafford. I'm here. Give me a shout.